Hello COM4806ers. It's the beginning of August, and as per our work schedule for the year, also the beginning of our support month for assignment 2. So in this month there will be 3 deliveries of support resources. It's this tutorial, then another class session, and in the third place another tutorial where I will address some of the frequently asked questions I got through the course of the month, or during my preparations for marking assignment 2. So today we are going to look, exactly as we did for assignment 1, we're going to look at the basics of assignment 2, understanding the assignment itself. Let me just get it on the screen for you. Understanding the assignment itself, the basics of the assignment, analyzing the assignment, reading for the assignment, and then lastly writing your assignment 2. The resources I referred to in this tutorial is available under additional resources on MyUnisa, and please let me know via email if anything that I've covered today is unclear, or if any of the resources I posted for you guys are unclear in any way. So let's move to the basics immediately. The due date for assignment 2 is the 30th of August. The unique assignment number 58752408. And as for assignment 1, and as for all your honors assignments, the entire Turnitin report, so submit your assignment to Turnitin, the entire report must be downloaded. Just a note on that. The Turnitin report, please make sure that when you select the specific view, that you unselect the E-rater markup, so the language markup. It's usually kind of purple buttons or purple icons. That should not be selected. It must only be the similarity markup. Otherwise your markers might be confused and see some of the language highlights as similarity highlights. It's just so much easier to mark an assignment where only the similarity markup is showing. So, and it can only be to your betterment if there's no confusion. You can use the language markup to better your writing, because that actually gives you feedback on grammar and spelling and so on. But please don't hand in an assignment that has the E-rater markup, the language markup, ETS it's also called, highlighted. Only the similarity markup. All right. So then your entire Turnitin report is downloaded and submitted to MyUnisa. So before you start with assignment 2, if you have not done so, watch the welcome video and the previous class sessions and the previous tutorials. Those things are still relevant and are still building blocks for this assignment. So if you have not watched those and accessed those during your work for assignment 1, please do so now. Also access the academic writing little tab on the left hand side on MyUnisa if you haven't done so yet. Visit the Writing for Academic Integrity website. There's a link in your 101, also at the end of this video that will be on the screen. Make sure you get the Turnitin guidelines under additional resources on MyUnisa, and also in various other places like your 101 and your 301. And ensure that you also have your reading from assignment 1 ready again. Those 30 reserved sources, you can read a little bit wider, we'll get to that later, but have those ready before you start, because they will again be probably the most important reading for this assignment. Next, let's look at assignment analysis. Just as the same as for assignment 1, firstly look at the learning objectives of the assignment and read the instructions for completing the assignment. Then this assignment 2 is based on a case study, so reading the case study and the additional resources relating to the case study, linked to the case study, read those. Then read the assignment itself and find those central questions for each of the sub-questions. Now, assignment 2 has these 2 major questions. Question 1 is kind of in 2 parts, where question 1.1 to 1.3 is about the decol, indigenous, and post-col positions. And question 3.4 and 3.5 is about the pragmatic position. And then question 2.1 and 2.2 are quite similar, where 2.1 is about positivist position and 2.2 is about interpretivism. Then look at the specifics of each of those questions, read them carefully and see what are the details that you must provide. I will talk you through them now, but read them for yourself so you are sure what is asked and what are the details that you must remember to put in your answer. Now, question 1.1 is identify a research topic or theme. You must describe that topic and theme, and you must motivate the fit. These are the three important things for question 1.1. Identify the theme, describe it, and motivate the fit. The motivation should refer to the ontology, epistemology, and axiology of a decol, indigenous, post-col position. Question 1.2 is describe the methodology you propose for the research theme or topic as identified in question 1.1. Specifically the research approach and the design. And your answer must make it clear, so there must also be a motivation why this approach and design are suitable for a decol, indigenous, or post-col inquiry, and why it is suitable for the topic or theme you chose. So there are also three important things for 1.2. The research approach, the research design, and the motivation. And that motivation must be for the suitability for both the position and for your specific topic or theme. Now, question 1.3 asks you another kind of question. It is to explain why your topic and theme or the approach or the design is specifically decol and not suitable for a more general, like the Euro-Western critical or transformational position. So here you have a bit of freedom. You don't have to motivate all the topic, theme, approach, design, everything. You can motivate for all of them, but at least for one of them, you must motivate why it is specifically suited for a decol or indigenous or post-col inquiry, and what makes it not necessarily just critical or transformational. Now, question 1.4 is the same as question 1.1, but here it is about the pragmatic position. So you must identify a research topic or theme, describe that topic and theme, and motivate the fit. So it's the same three important criteria. And 1.5, the last one for question 1, is the same as 1.2. You must describe the methodology, specifically the approach and design, and clarify or motivate why this approach and design is suitable for a pragmatic position and suitable for your chosen theme or topic. Then question 2, 2.1, firstly, here you are asked to describe the Sanlam Foundation as if you are a positivist, but not in academic language, in everyday language. So what you focus on and how you say things must make your position clear when you describe the organization. So again, it's three important things. Describe the organization, but specifically think about what it is you are using in your descriptions and how you are describing it. And the same for 2.1. Describe the organization, but your what and your how must show that you are an interpretivist. Now, after you analyze the assignment and all the information around the assignment, including the case study and the instructions, it's time to start thinking about reading for this assignment. Let's look at that next. Now, for assignment 1, you're obliged to only use the e-reserves. Now, while those 30 e-reserves are still very important for assignment 2, you will need to now also read wider. So the textbooks indicated as recommended sources in your TUT 101, as well as the textbooks from which some of your e-reserves came. Those you will see in the 101, those e-reserves have specific notes with them that say that the rest of the chapters in this book might also be important. So those are the additional resources. they will come in handy. And then, of course, you must read also the sources pointed out in the case study, those additional sources of the case study. Now, I know some of the links in the 101 are outdated because links change very quickly, and this Statlet was compiled last year already. But you can search, of course, for those resources yourself. The references are there. So the news articles, the reports and things, you can search for yourself with a Google search. But I've also uploaded on my UNISA, under additional resources, an updated case study resources list where the links are working. And I also uploaded the integrated reports of 2019 and 2020, as well as the 3 news reports. PDFs of them are on my UNISA under additional resources, so you can access them there as well. And then, so for assignment 2, then you can use the e-reserves, the additional sources from those e-reserve chapters, and the recommended sources, and then the Sanlam specific resources indicated in the case study and otherwise related to the Sanlam organization, the Sanlam Foundation organization itself. However, you may still not use any sources outside of the module sources for any theoretical, philosophical, or methodological information. So, for instance, you may not use a website or Wikipedia page about research approaches, for instance, or you may not use an outside source for information on a paradigmatic position. It's still only the module sources, but now also the additional and recommended sources as indicated in your 101. It's only for the Sanlam Foundation sources that it can be web-based or news reports or websites or Twitter feed type of information as well, not for any academic information. Okay, so if you're clear on that, we can move on to writing your assignment. So just as for assignment 1, you must use headings and subheadings to organize the content of your assignment. For assignment 2, I think it will work best if you use the question numbers. So you can use the question numbers like I show on your screen now, the question numbers and sub-question numbers as your headings and subheadings. But you can also use like a combination of worded headings and question numbers. So there's a variety of ways. I have uploaded 2 versions on my UNISA, and I show you 2 versions now. So somewhere in between those 2, or either one of those can serve as your template for headings and subheadings. It's the same type of format as for assignment 1. Then once you have your headings and subheadings, I suggest that you start plotting notes from your reading under the headings and subheadings so that you can help start organizing your thinking. And then use the criteria for each question to kind of help you organize, as a starting point, to organize your thoughts and to make sure that you cover all the important things that you have to cover for each answer. Remember that you can also use your assignment 1 when you get it back, or the general feedback document on assignment 1. You can also find that general feedback on assignment 1 under additional resources on my UNISA from today. Then start formulating your sentences and paragraphs to make your answer. Remember to interpret, to integrate between sources, and make sure that you are writing an answer to the actual question. So don't get lost in the details. Don't just repeat the ontology, epistemology, and methodology of a decolp position, or the ontology, epistemology, axiology of a pragmatist position when you are answering those questions. Remember to answer the question. Use the information from your reading to actually answer the question asked of you. And at the end, read your own writing to make sure you included all the details needed. Check the length of your answer against the specified length. Each single sub-question has a specified length. So make your answer shorter if it's too long, and add more detail if it is too short. The entire assignment content, so from introduction to conclusion, should be no longer than 4,000 words. But if you stick with the specified lengths for each sub-question, and then write an introduction and conclusion for your assignment, you won't go over 4,000 words. So stick to the individual question answer lengths, and you'll be fine for the total assignment length. And then about technical presentation, some of your assignment ones were not great technically. And I urge you to study the guidelines and to use all the resources available to you to make your technical quality better for assignment 2. Your individual assignment 1 feedback, once you receive that, will also tell you where specifically you went wrong. So your marker would have written that your list of sources was incorrect, or that your headings was incorrect, or your table of contents, so that you have an idea where specifically you are going wrong. But the resources, the Writing for Academic Integrity website with the tutorials, there's a lot of tutorials on referencing techniques, and they are actually quite complete and quite easy to use. So go there and access those resources. The same with the information that is shown by your Untitled 301. It points to documents under additional resources. Use those technical guidelines there as well, and use your marker feedback, and make sure that your assignment 2 is a bit better than your assignment 1 regarding technical presentation. I think that's all from me today. Watch out for the next video next Monday, and email me if the resources I referred to in this tutorial is not available or is unclear in a way, and let me know if there's something specific that I didn't mention today that you are struggling with, that I will answer you individually via email, but I will also include those questions I get frequently in the third support material tutorial for this assignment 2. So you can also help the rest of the class by asking me some questions. Okay guys, happy studies.